Hello again. So I'm on a cooking roll here for Christmas and the things that I love to make every year. And now I'm going to make my homemade peanut butter balls. Some people call them Buckeyes, but I've just always referred to them as my homemade peanut butter balls. I will tell you everything you're going to need. You're going to need some peanut butter. You can choose creamy or crunchy. I like the creamy. You're going to need powdered sugar. And as I put it in, I'll tell you how much you're going to need. I am again doubling the recipe. You will need some vanilla. So I have my vanilla. You're going to need wax paper that you can put your peanut butter balls on when you get your balls made and you dip them in the chocolate. You're going to need that. You will need 2 sticks, and this is a doubled recipe, 2 sticks of salted butter softened. You're going to need 3 cups of peanut butter and 6 cups of powdered sugar, which I'm getting ready to start with here. So I'm going to start putting some of this in, and I'll let you see how this is going to work. There's a lot of people that probably make these. They are delicious, and I have some family members that absolutely love them. So I have 2 of the cups of peanut butter already in my mixer. So I just need to go ahead and add this 3rd cup. The original recipe I'm going to put on here will be the recipe, just the one recipe, not doubled. But this is doubled because I'm giving it as gifts and I'm using it for parties and things like that. So now I have washed my hands, so my hands are clean. But I want to get all that peanut butter that I can in there. That's good. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and add my 2 sticks of softened butter. I want to get my softened butter in with my peanut butter. And then I will cream that together. Get it really creamy before I put in my other things, the powdered sugar and the vanilla, that type of thing. So if you like Reese cups or anything with chocolate and peanut butter, this is the way to go. Now some people I have heard will put Rice Krispie treats in their peanut butter balls, but I've learned something with my kids. Don't change the recipe from what they're used to. They like their things they had when they were a child, you know how that goes. I might need to plug this in so that it'll work. So I did my caramel corn. It turned out great. Great big old bowl of it. I was happy. All right. Put that down. So we're going to start creaming the peanut butter and the butter together. It's just kind of so easy. This is not a hard thing to make. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. You want to make sure your butter has been softened. Sometimes I will forget to get my butter out and I'll cut it into little chunks like I did today, put it in a bowl, and just barely put it in the microwave for just a few seconds to kind of soften it up. You don't want to melt it. Absolutely don't do that, and don't get it too warm. You just want it to be soft. Okay. So now I'm going to start adding my 6 cups of powdered sugar, and I'm going to go ahead and put in 2 teaspoons of the vanilla. That's what it calls for a double batch. Get that in there first. This is so easy. Anybody could do it. There's 1, 2. 2 teaspoons there. And 1 cup of powdered sugar. That's where I'm going to start. I'm going to go ahead and dip up some more powdered sugar. I'll be back. Okay, so I have half of my powdered sugar in there. I'm going to let it start mixing up good, and I'm going to add the rest a little at a time. It just works out better that way. It makes it creamier, easier. So we're going to turn that up just a little. Get that nice and creamy peanut butter in there. Oh, it's so good. Okay, I'm going to continue to add my powdered sugar. Okay, so I'm making a mess as usual, but I'm going to I have all but 1 cup of my sugar in there. I'm going to try to do it slowly so my powdered sugar doesn't go all over me and everything else. I'm gonna have it on low right now. I need to add one more cup, and I'll do that. Okay, so let's try this. All right, I'm gonna do this slowly so we don't get one. See, it wants to fly out. Now then. Now we've got it going. It's pretty thick because you want to be able to roll them up in balls. But I think there's a chance I'm going to use my little dipper, that little ice cream scoop that I have. That works really well. All right, let me scrape my bowl down a little bit. Get that kind of, make sure it's all in there nice and mixed up, creamy. And I think it kind of is. I can see the side of the bowls. It's pretty clean. There's not a bunch of powdered sugar left on there. But I'm going to give it one more twist, probably. Make sure, because I see just a little bit of powdered sugar, not much. But see how thick it is? That's perfect. That is perfect. Okay. Turn it on for just a minute. Okay, I think we're good. So I'm going to relocate myself over to the counter where I'm going to dip the peanut butter balls in the chocolate. But I have to make my balls first. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my little ice cream scoop type dipper. And here is my melting wafers. I did get these at Sam's, a nice big bag. Pretty reasonable. I don't remember what I paid it, but I wasn't too worried about it. Didn't seem too much. And I have all my peanut butter dough in here, or filling. It's delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take some time. I'm gonna use my scoop. Now, I tend to try not to make them too big. The reason is, Todd has more opinions about my food sometimes. My peanut butter balls, he likes them to be a little bit smaller, so he can just pop one in his mouth. Well, sometimes if they're too small, it seems like it's hard to dip them. They kind of just get in there and you can't get them out. I don't know, but I'm gonna give it a go to try to make them about that size. All of my peanut butter balls. That's not too bad. So we'll do that. It'll take me a little time using my scoop. And if you don't have a scoop, you can just use a teaspoon. A teaspoon works fine too. But my hands are clean. I'm gonna roll them into a ball. Make them into a little ball. Pat it together. Put it on my wax paper. It's gonna be the same wax paper that I'm gonna use when I'm ready to dip them. I'll put them back on the wax paper after I've dipped them. Now sometimes I have in the past wanted them to be cold because they seem to dip a little better. So there's a chance I might stick them in the refrigerator for just a few minutes because, you know, they're gonna sit out here and get warm with my skin touching them for one thing. And then put them in the refrigerator and they kind of get more solid. And when you dip them, the fact that they're cold, it'll make them set up a lot faster too. So I'm gonna work on this and we'll be back. Okay everyone, I have one tray of these peanut butter balls ready to go into my freezer. I'm just gonna leave them in there for a few minutes, maybe 15. I don't want them to completely freeze. I just want them to be nice and cold when I go to dip them in the chocolate. Okay, so I do have my peanut butter balls all rolled into a ball. They're in the freezer for a few minutes. I do have this special little tool that I bought when I was very young, probably late 20s, at the Sugar Plum shop. People that I knew, Mom Rupp was her name, owned it. And she had several children and they were active in the churches where we went. But this is for dipping candy. Now you can use a fork or a spoon, but I still have this, and so I try to use it every year because it's helpful, because some of the chocolate can just stream through. You don't get as much chocolate on there that way. I'm putting my chocolate discs in my measuring cup, glass that I can put in the microwave. And I'm gonna turn the microwave on like medium power or defrost for 30 seconds and take it out, stir it up, back in for another 30 seconds, take it out, stir it up until you get it at the consistency you need to dip your chocolate. So we'll get this melted up. I'll go get my candy out of the freezer and we'll continue. The reason you want to do it this way, you don't want to burn your chocolate, and if you're not stirring it frequently, it could burn. You see there on the side of my measuring cup, it's starting to melt. I'm going to do it some more. Okay, so I do have my chocolate all ready to go. It's all melted. There. Okay, so now I went out and, okay, so now I'm dipping my peanut butter balls, as I said that I'd be doing. So here we go. Got a couple of them down there that I've already dipped. Just letting it kind of drip off. You just place it on your wax paper wherever. I want you to be able to see it, so let me back that off a little bit more. There we go. Okay, and you know, I may not have enough chocolate melted, and if that's the case, I can always melt some more. I'm gonna dump that in there and let it kind of be getting ready. I'm gonna just dump that peanut butter ball right over there. So that's kind of how you do it. It gives you an idea. You can dip all kinds of candy this way. Sometimes I'll put, at the end, I put chocolate, peanuts in to kind of finish using my chocolate if I don't need the chocolate for the peanut butter balls. If I've, you know, used all my peanut butter balls but don't, you know, have some chocolate left. So that is pretty much how you make my peanut butter balls. I'll give it a minute and let one set up. Of course, I'll have to taste it. So I do have one of my peanut butter balls ready to try because since they were cold from the freezer, they set up really quick. So I'm excited to try one. I haven't had one in, you know, since last Christmas probably. So Todd always asks me, Mom, how do you get those so creamy in the middle? I just follow the recipe. I don't know if he's had some from someone else, maybe that have had Rice Krispies in there or that have added nuts, but he says creamy's the best, and these are creamy. Perfect. It's like I'm in Reese Cup heaven. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this recipe. I'll be sure to get it on there in the description area. And I'd really appreciate it if you could give me a thumbs up and subscribe. We'll move on to another recipe soon.